Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-month reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of October, as usual, I have a special sales offer available. And for this month, it's inspired in the current Libra season we are on. And it's a reading that it's themed upon love and relationships. So if you'd like to know more details about it, you can read in the description box, where you can also find the current list of tarot services I offer. If you'd like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Sagittarius, I feel like for many of you, you might be fighting here your own inner demons. You might be fighting off addictions, relapses, obsessive behaviors. You might be trying to resist the temptation to go back to patterns and behaviors that are not the best for you, or to go back to a specific toxic relationship, to go back to a person that it's not the best for you. So there's a lot of things that is about fighting the urge to get yourself into trouble. For some of you, it's complicated to hold restraint, because there's something very powerful that speaks to you. It's almost like an energy that summons you, and you can feel this calling to not be, necessarily the best one, but there's a level of temptation associated with this specific something that makes it really hard for you to, again, to keep your, it's almost like to keep your sobriety over the matter. So for some of you, it could really be, really be about an addiction with alcohol, or an addiction with substances that affect your health and well-being, or make you, again, more susceptible to do things and to accept things you don't want to, or to become a version of yourself you don't want to become. The Devil and the Five of Wands. You can be also feel very triggered right now by jealousy and a sense of competitiveness. So there's a part of you that wants to fight and to compete with what you perceive as being energies that are like a rival, or an enemy to you, or to the things you want, to ensure they stay under your control or under your spell itself. Because for some of you Sagittarius, you have here a dynamic between, abusers and the abused. All right, so there can be a swing between positions and roles, specifically if this is affecting your current relationship dynamics, obviously. But there seems to be like an aspect where you are the victim, and then an aspect where you are the abuser. And it's important that you understand this pattern, or you understand this dynamic that might be causing you, real issues in a relationship. For those of you in which there will be here probably fighting and bickering, manipulation, with a partner, you might need to take a break from this relationship, or you and your partner might ask, one of you might ask, or one of you might understand that you really need a break, or you need a timeout from all this drama and intensity, to heal yourselves and to center your minds, to put your minds in the right place, so that then further on what's the best approach, what to do. Because I feel like right now and during the next weeks, it can be really intense and dramatic, and it's going to be easier to do the wrong thing, to say the wrong thing, to have a very negative, hasty reaction, than to actually keep it cool. Because that's your advice, is to keep it cool, but the tendency here is to not be able to do so, because you're going to be feeling triggered. Also, it's about that. The next weeks are very triggering for some of you Sagittarius. It could be that you feel bombarded by, by what surrounds you. So in your work environment, in your family environment, you can feel like you're being constantly triggered. And so again, you're being pushed to the Four of Swords to take a break. So if you have been in a moment where you have been very social and outgoing, perhaps the next week's, there's an invitation to stay in more, to be more with yourself, to rest properly, to avoid those things that can be dangerous right now for you, to fuel the wrong things in you. It can be a time where also you're invited to make a deep analysis upon the matters that are concerning you right now, because I also feel like for some of you Sag, the issue here is that you have not given something the proper thought, like the in-depth thoughts that it should have, so you know the answer, so you know what's the best approach. You're basically dealing with something constantly in a very it's like in a very superficial way, or in a way that it's about surviving the conflict, or winning the argument, winning the problem, but not necessarily understanding it. All right, so if you're facing problems in your home life, with your family, with your work, with finances, or with your love and romantic life, there might be just a need to make a proper thought upon this matter, to actually get what the problem is, and to not be just moving through it without fully understanding what it is about. For some of you that you're trying to break free from an addiction, I feel like also there's for some of you that are trying to do that, really, it's important that obviously you don't go to those places or hang with those people that can feed the urge and the tendency to succumb to that temptation or that addiction, but also that you replace that, like you replace the addiction or the things that have been a part of that addiction or that addictive lifestyle behaviors with others. And I feel like you might be trying to fill those gaps, like you're beginning to fill those gaps with activities that are healthy for you, that are good for you, that make you feel good. I feel like for some of you, it could be about sports, or it could be about practices, that make you feel mentally and physically very focused. It's like not having activities that make you feel like you don't have time, you don't have space, all right, to even think about that thing you're trying to resist or walk away from. In a way, keeping yourself busy, it's shown here as something positive, but keeping yourself busy in a way that stimulates that mental order that you want to have in your life right now. The order, because there's two aspects here. For some of you Sagittarius, you can be doing things to again, to bring back a new lifestyle and order that's better for you, healthier for you, and that's great. But for others, you could also be doing things that end up again taking you back. Some of you, is like you can't fight right now fire with fire. So if you're angry, if you're feeling out of control again with something, if you're really triggered, if you go pursuing that approach, like a responding fire with fire, it will escalate the issue here. It will inflame you. What you need is to pour water and to breathe fresh, cold air. So the issue gets, the impact it has, it lessens, and you actually see things with more clarity. It can be difficult for some of you Sagittarius to see things with clarity, but you can get there. That's the advice. You need to call in also a lot of that, again, sharp focus on what's the mindset you want to have. What's the mindset you want to put in all things in your life right now, and be very disciplined. Another thing here, it's about you remaining very disciplined in what you already started. That brings you a sense of well-being, but also not fighting the calling, especially around not fighting the signs that your mind and your body are giving you. So if you feel tired, respect that. If you feel mentally foggy, take that as a sign, as an important notice that it's time to disconnect, let go, and do things that make you feel good, that make you feel relaxed, that make you feel like mentally in peace, to really invest a lot on that sense of well-being. For others, you might just also be in a moment in the next weeks where you want to go somewhere. You might have travel plans that get delayed. You might have a specific plan that was kind of this very special thing for you that gets delayed. And this is what might get you also very triggered and angry, the feeling of nothing is working out the way you expected. Be mindful. This is a temporary delay. If you have plans that get canceled or delayed, it's temporary. You're going to be able to, resolve this issue later on when you're in a better mindset. So I hope you have a great mid-month. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.